Ladies and gentlemen, this YouTube segment is for you. But before you jump into it, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And I'm not jump cutting this, so you see how awkward it would be for me to jump cut this in the middle of a goddamn Twitch stream, right? Pop over to the Twitch. That's right, the king is back. Yes, sir. But before we get into that juicy stuff, that stuff that's been going on the last 2 weeks that I got at least an hour's worth of a piece on, and I'm gonna do one today. So you should be here. But by the time you see this, it probably won't, figure it out, follow the Twitch, come join the party. But thank you for watching on YouTube anyway. This article was written by some very near and dear good people I have met over the course of the last couple of months. Written by Professor Q and Homozygoat. Discriminating Tastes: Why Academia Must Tackle Its Race Science Problem. Jordan Peterson and his right-wing ilk are misinterpreting science to justify the hierarchical worldviews. I had to breathe in, and I couldn't catch the breath because my nose was stuffed, and I was like, hi. Anyway, very respectful of their work thus far and their interactions with me, and they're writing fucking articles, commentary articles. I'd love to see what this is about, as they really fuck with the educational side of things. And if you don't know, I have been a teacher my entire life. I only stopped teaching as of 2020 because of, obvious reasons. I'm not looking to jump back in the classroom no time soon with the way this type of shit is going on, with the way they're treating us, but whatever. I have a sandwich. And I love sandwiches. It's been so long since I've streamed, and I'm doing this in the middle of a YouTube video. Oh my God. And I forgot I had a stream deck, and I was going back to clicking each scene. Oh my God, I'm a piece of shit. I'm such a piece of shit. Anyway, former University of Toronto professor of clinical psychology Jordan Peterson recently received a flurry of commendation for a tweet in which he criticized. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So it looks like we're just gonna have mini segment after mini segment within this video, because yeah, this is the shit that came across my dash. This was right around the day that I stopped streaming, and I was saying to my friend, I was like, all the fucking discourse is now gonna happen the moment I leave. Of course, people gonna be buggy. Of course, people are gonna be buggy after that shit. Anyway, he got ratioed so hard for this tweet, he left Twitter. So I want to see, did he stick to it? I thought you were leaving Twitter. I thought you were leaving Twitter. I thought you were leaving Twitter. Oh my God, they're pushing back on his fucking take. Yo, maybe it's not him tweeting. Maybe it's not him tweeting.
So I received an email from you.
Did you just post a YouTube link? Okay, let me not get into a rabbit hole off of this, because it was about the one fucking tweet. But this yet again goes to my exact example of what I was going to bring up even in that one direct tweet. For some reason, and stay with me here. For some reason, it seems like conservatives do this thing where they say shit and then just leave it as is. For some reason, leftists like to do this thing where they'll say shit and then either double down or apologize and then like keep talking about it. And it's funny because that's where half the fucking drama of Twitch politics exists within, is the fact that people will say shit, try to drop it, and then people keep bringing it up. Like, yo, it's been your 4th day about this fucking discourse. Either seek fucking help or stop streaming. Anyway. Sorry. I'm sorry. Not beautiful. And no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. I can't do my Jordan Peterson. I need more Kermit. I haven't practiced my Kermit. I'm going to Kermit. You got to put that in with that, and it's so wonderful, and the music and the love. First of all, that bitch is that's a bad woman. I'm all right. I'm all right with a hit and run if I get to go home with that. Like, if I get to go home to that, I'm okay with it. I'm all right with taking a bullet to the knee if like I'm in bed and I can't move and that comes into sleep. Like that's a woman. I don't, and this isn't to do a thing of any type of comparison of any kind with whatever. Like, wait, what the fuck? VIPs can use shout out commands? That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Voice health meter about to plummet. Yeah, no, I'm about to go off. Oh no, that's not good. Why is that a thing? What the fuck? Why can VIPs use commands? It must be are VIPs above moderators? Yeah, please don't. I mean, I appreciate it because, like I said, my mods are not going to be able to. No, it's not universal. No, it's just you. That's why I was like, oh shit, just got to change your permissions. Yeah, it shouldn't have been like that in the first place. I think that was probably set at a point where I thought I wasn't going to have any VIPs and just left it there for years. Anyway, before I get way too fucking distracted with this shit, my problem with that statement is that you think, like, to phrase this as an intellectual, to phrase this as a guy who's on drugs on the corner in 125th, like, that's a thing. And I wouldn't take that for, but like, you have real pushing power and pull. And my issue starts to come into like, what do you mean by authoritarian tolerance? Because the idea of tolerance when it comes to authoritarianism is the shit that leftists keep telling you conservatives they don't want to deal with. You're fucking part of MAGA country. You want the fucking slaughter of trans people. You want the fucking murder of children. Like, you want gun sales and money, and you want the power, and you don't want any, you just want to let the chips fly where they fly. So if I'm gonna let you do that, can you like start loving fat people just for the sake of loving fat people? Because like, fat people aren't a problem. Like, they're just people. That the fact that there's, and this is what I mean. This is what I mean about these type of topics, is that the discourse changes into me having to somehow make a good argument for a very common sense thought. Like, do you not think that that's a bad bitch? Because what is it? What is it? What is it? What, you see what I mean? Like, it's frustrating. What is it? What are we angling for here with the use of authoritarian tolerance? Because you can be a sort of pseudo face of also extreme right-wingism. So like, is it authoritarian to tell people that like people who have a little bit more body fat than others should just fucking die? Like, that's not hyperbole. That's not hyperbole. That's not a thing that I can reasonably say is too far. That's just what I would see. Oh, this is going to be a great fucking segment considering the fucking fact that I only got through one fucking paragraph. But I was waiting to talk on that for a long time anyway, so it don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. Whoa. Don't associate conservatives with Republicans and MAGA. We had this conversation already. That's JP's taste, and you have your own taste in women. But that's not the point. That if that was the point, then he wouldn't have made it a point to make it about authoritarianism. Like, you can have your taste, but like, you're also saying it would take an insane person. Like, it would take an insane person. Yeah, I'm ready for the 1.6, the 1.6 hearing. I just know nothing's gonna come of it. I know nothing's gonna come of it. It's not hot. It's not hot right now. It's not up. Oh, you missed the promo in the beginning, my brother. You missed the promo in the beginning. Oh man. It was everything. It was everything.
I am the best! I'm the best in the world! Because I'm the only guy who makes you feel! And unlike all those boys, I don't gotta do a bunch of bullshit to get you there!
It was wild when we started. Copy. I think authoritarianism is coming from SSI standpoint, possibly that SSI stood for health and fitness. Ooh. You know what? I would be willing to give that to you if we hadn't already done this with the swimsuit model, the swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated. Like, we already had this argument where somebody said the same shit when it was a black woman on there for the first time. Like, that's what I mean about like giving charitability to these statements, is that it's okay to pick on things that people weren't paying attention to, but there's always like 6 motherfuckers that were paying attention to it. And the problem with those 6 motherfuckers is that they're gonna act like, just like I'm acting right now, like the supreme authority on it, because they know that he know it, but he ain't gonna say that out loud. The backlash to Peterson's comments was swift and broad and included social media influencers, online political commentators like Hassan Piker and Vosh, independent news outlets like the Young Turks, mainstream news sources, even international news outlets. In America's current political climate, incidents like the one caused by the aforementioned tweet are becoming more common, and culture war issues are at the forefront of the public mind. Imagine the day I would have told you that if you popped on Twitter and you said some vile shit, the news would cover it. 10 years ago, I'd have got jumped for that. 10 years ago, I'd have got jumped for that. And don't say no. Don't say no. Listen. No. Listen. I promise you, I would have got jumped for that. Who cares if you're fucking Twitter, bro? It's MySpace. Like, shut up.
Are you okay, Alex?
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go.
You're really
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Give me $20. Give me $20. Give me $20. No wife in the club. Give me $20. Give me $20. Give me $20. No wife in the club. Give me $20. Give me $20. Give me $20. Wife in the club. Give me $20. Oh, what's up, one guy in here? Nice name. Oh, we're doing that. Hi, Shadow's still here today. I'm not pressing the keys anymore. I was reading the chat. I almost got lost. Anyway, yeah, imagine me telling you that you're gonna get pulled on fucking NBC. Why did you tweet that? Why would you tweet something so controversial yet so brave? Bro, the news is just covering the trending topics on Twitter. I want to yeet myself off this fucking rock. Oh my God! What is the news anymore, bro? Like, can you imagine running a news block where you had to talk about the Uvalde shooting and this in the same? Oh man. Popular intellectual figures like Peterson have built their careers off of stoking these hot button issues and then claiming that they are being persecuted when others agree with them. It's a conscious, progressive attempt to manipulate and retool the notion of beauty, reliant on the idiot philosophy that such preferences are learned and properly changed by those who know better. But don't let the facts stop you after linking two articles. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let's get fucking loopy. Physical attractiveness and reproductive success in humans. Evidence from the late 20th century in the United States. That's fucking gross. Physical attractiveness has been associated with mating behavior, but its role in reproductive success of contemporary humans receives surprisingly little attention. In a Wisconsin longitudinal study, they examined whether attractiveness is assessed for photoesthetic when predictive high reproductive and anomaly, so that attractive second highest quartile is 67 varies. And men, there was a threshold effect, so the men are the lowest attractive. Linear regression analysis indicated weakly redirectional sectional gradient for attractiveness. Beta 6 in women, beta in the zone. These findings indicated the physical attractiveness associated with living in industrialized settings. Oh my fucking god, that's weird, bro. That's so fucking weird. Based on graduates' yearbook photos, the participant them being 18.1 years of age on average, a random sample of schools was selected and all participants yearbooks were scanned and the participants extracted the majority of yearbooks face portraits. The attractiveness coding was conducted during the summer 20. Participants in the Madison Senior Scholars Program recruited to look at and code a randomly selected of 3,000 yearbook respondents. 33 different judges whose ages 63 rated those photos. 33 different judges whose ages range from 63 to 91 rated these photos. Each yearbook photo was rated by 6 men and women using a photo labeled 11-point rating scale with endpoints labeled as not at all attractive and extremely attractive.
Why?
This, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to my very next point. Don't smoke crack. Sorry, I just caught up all the chats. The outside thing is one of those examples when losing a systemic privilege feels like persecution. He likes the status quo of bigger people feeling ashamed because they place what he wants to see them in that identity. He's oh god, I'm gonna get into that so hard. Yeah, no, that's one of them. Yo, so hey, yo, and it's like I want a string of my tweets to break 1,000 likes. If I could get that for a solid year, like, oh god, advertisers come, and then I wouldn't have to ask y'all for money because I could just get sponsors. What the fuck does that mean though? And he's replying to Vosh, so it's even funnier because I'm sure Vosh has already like broken those two things out. But anyway, it's a conscious progressive attempt. You're using progressive as a negative, and you're trying to say progressive left instead of like progressive, the progress of civilization. Attempt to manipulate and retool the notion of beauty, relying on the idiot philosophy that such preferences are learned and properly changed by those who know better. Bro, it's hot girl summer. It's big woman's. It's big woman year. Like if if you walk and nothing jiggles, There's the door, baby. If you can't hang, then there's the door, baby. If you can't hang, then there's the door. Ah, I can't do it. I just sound like a fucking monkey. Just I don't know. I don't know. There's the racial tones there. Oh my god, there's the racial tones. Get me off this fucking website, bro. I'm gonna break it. You telling me this isn't one of the most I legitimately stream, and I know I'm taking the piss out of myself right now by even like breaking this segment apart to say this. But I stream shit that like I would watch. Like I act and say shit that I would want to hear from the streamer at that time. Like if you're not here, bro, you're really wasting your fucking Twitch life. Cause who knows how long my shelf life is. Like, God forbid I have any more vocal damage. Like, how are you not watching this? Anyway, that's bullshit. And I wanted to break into it a little bit further, but like, it's just bullshit. Interestingly, much of the blowback ignored Peterson's follow-up tweet, in which he justifies his position by linking to scientific articles that purportedly validate his opinion. Peterson raises an interesting question: can science be used to measure whether or not someone is attractive? While some recent studies have tried to do just that, far more studies refute these claims. And this is why I love those fucking two people, and I love that whole fucking space. Gremlo, Homozygoat, Professor Q, the people I met on the panel, and my brain is fried. I would recognize Chris. Oh my god, I'm thinking about their screen names and I can't see them in the back of my head. Anyway. Oh, Petre, we was just talking about you. We was just talking about you. I'm very progressive and very left, so I'm already smarter than Jordan Peterson. When I get to the there's a piece I'm gonna get to in the future, and it's gonna talk about the dynamics of just existing on a political spectrum. Because in there is something about what you just said that triggered a thought in my head, and I wanted to give you like a nice response to it, but it spoils too much of that earlier. Wait, did I hear that right earlier? The study was conducted in 61 90 somethings. It's almost like older generations have different beauty standards than younger generations. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes, Peter, so about you and Pineapple and how y'all heard me while I was fucking, not well. I sound much better now. I wish you could have met me like during this. Anyway. The sociology of human sexuality and race has long held that concepts like beauty and race are social constructions. I'm seeing the factors below it, determined by a range of cultural, biological, and other complex social factors. On some innate level, just about everyone recognizes this truism. Famously, it was embodied in the classic The Twilight Zone episode. Yes, good reference. Eye of the Beholder, whose lesson is that beauty is a local characteristic rather than a universal one. Yet, the intellectual dark web, of which Peterson is an adherent, and practitioners of this kind of science try to apply their model to nearly everything, linking and reducing all kinds of aspects of human behavior as serving an evolutionary function. The crowd that engages in this type of off-sophistic debate over beauty should be familiar to anyone who follows the machinations of his latest iteration of the culture wars. Sometimes dubbed the IDW, they constitute a group of disgraced academics and other pseudo-intellectuals, including podcaster Joe Rogan and conservative commentator Dave Rubin, who claim that their voices are being silenced by traditional institutions who become overly concerned with political correctness or wokeness. However, researchers in the field of evolutionary studies, an area which focuses on how much of our behavior is a product of our biology, whose work is well regarded, tend to be far more cautious than the Peterson and their ilk in their claims as to what we can definitely say about the so-called science of beauty against the overly deterministic model posed by the IDW. Current consensus among scholars in this field is that human nature is a complex combination of biology and other social factors. These researchers are quick to note that when they can't tell us with any great deal of precision what their findings necessarily mean for society at large. The kind of model advocated by the IDW more closely resembles that of the 18th and 19th century biological determinism, the kind that served as the basis for eugenics programs in Nazi Germany and even here in the United States. Peterson's claims were on the full spectrum of biological determinism for justifying social hierarchies as natural to claiming patriarchy should be the preferred organizing principle in societies. He also appears at points in his book to vindicate violent men like the Buffalo shooter, the Uvalde shooter, by asserting that young men have to endure an unfair burden. To say that the ideas espoused by Peterson and the IDW connect to white supremacist ideology is more than just conjecture, as the ideas are observably trickling down from academia to far-right groups online. That is so fucking correct. We're gonna continue onwards because I it's getting smart and I don't want to ruin the mood right now. Is that fair with y'all? I think that's fair with y'all. That was a good one. Two of those words are obviously lies. One of these things doesn't belong with the others. No. Wait. Thank you for the follow. Heavily appreciate it. Indeed, the parallels between the rhetoric of the Buffalo shooter and the rhetoric espoused by Peterson and the like are eerily similar. Far-right groups rejoice in Peterson's claims that okay, I'm gonna skip this part because I went on a whole rant about it. But like, and this is what I was trying to say to you earlier, one guy. This is the two thoughts are the same. I have to say something about it. You take it as a charitable, like, stupid ideology that he would post something like that. Why would you tweet something like that? But like, the point isn't for us to get it. The point is for it to trickle down and get lost within. So that way he can claim plausible deniability for knowingly stoking a fire by throwing a little breadcrumb towards those fucking losers. Because we're not on those websites. We're not paying attention to the shit that they're posting. Guys, we got a new code. Every time we talk about Pizzagate, we're actually talking about doing the thing that we're accusing the Democrats of doing. You wouldn't know the fucking difference if we're a coordinated 4chan attack. Somebody would have to point that shit out to you. You'd probably see it on the internet one day and not know about it. This is like, that's how they interlace white supremacy now. Is that, again, and I'm going to quote, I think it was Reagan's guy, one of those fucking Nixon's guy, whoever it was. You can't go around saying bleep, bleep, bleep anymore. So you got to talk about things like forced busing, states taxes. You got to talk about property value. You got to talk about how fat women aren't attractive. They won't notice that you're probably talking about big fat women, which is why people still make fun of Megan Thee Stallion, even though all of you would drink her fucking bath water. It's cleverly designed to block you from even thinking about connecting those dots. Because if you were to connect those dots like I'm doing for you right now, in theory, you could say, that's a little bit of a reach for you to say that a fucking meme is about white supremacy. But we said the same thing about Pepe being a joke till 1-6 happened and you saw him on the fucking thing, right? It's different when it's in your face. Everybody talking about what they would have did till they the ones that it happened to. Factual. Like, you gotta be, you have to be a little bit more cautious approaching this next season of like where the right is going. Because the left has no problem saying this shit out loud. Like, for all intents and purposes, and we're going to end up reading some of these fucking tweets later, we could talk about how bad Antifa is, but like, who's the ones covering them? When have you been asked recently to give your opinions on Antifa? When has that been a discourse on Twitch? Remember, it was a big fucking point of contention for conservatives back in 2020, 2021. Why did it just disappear? Did Antifa get less out there? No, because there's still people posting about it. So if we're not even paying attention to the real life counterpart, and we could definitely give less of a shit about the online counterpart, who gets to control that space? Why does anyone control that space at all? Have you ever asked yourself these questions on the internet? You didn't have to, because most of y'all grew up with the internet. We should have, though. And there are some people who ask those questions, but now the paradigm shifts asking the questions. And y'all know what happens when I ask questions. That's right. Motherfuckers freeze up. Shit get changed around here. Taken together, these events suggest that biological determinism has permeated the ivory tower of academia more than many realize. While some of the examples mentioned here are explicit in their bigotry, there are far more cases of miscommunicated or poorly communicated scientific research being co-authored by far-right groups. Maybe behavioral geneticists should be more upset about a white supremacist terrorist citing their work and having it centered their worldview than they are the people who are pointing out that their work was cited again with the motherfucking like. Maybe read the paper instead of the tweets? That's way too much for a crazy killer, but not from a Caltech professor. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Yep, that was quick. That was fast. Some anti-racist academics and genetics have criticized their colleagues above and called for change from within. They emphasize that scientists can and should protect against the exploitation of their work and recognize the importance of clearly communicating their findings. But scientists fail to consider the ways their ideas might be used, for good or for bad. The results can be disastrous. Such was the case when some sociologists levied a social constructionist critique of the use of the psychiatric system, which was subsequently used by conservatives to justify dismantling the state public health system in the United States. Scientists must use caution when trying to convey their ideas, lest they be used to justify heinous acts, including terrorism. The radicalization of the Buffalo shooter should serve as a warning to other scholars, as he was one in a long line of domestic terrorists who relied heavily upon race science to justify their actions. And I don't need somebody to give me a fucking link to, the thing and the people to figure out what he said the shit out loud. The motherfucker took some time out and wrote a very nice document. The same kind of logic have also motivated people to commit heinous attacks against the LGBTQ community. I want to say something, but I'm going to finish the article before I say it because it's like we're going to hit that point somewhere. While the Buffalo shooter may have lacked the scientific literacy necessary to understand the studies he cites, researchers must work not to be complicit in this process, whether it be scientific racism to justify one's beliefs or lack of full consideration as to the larger impact of one's findings. Scientists need to better understand how working in science is a social activity. Science itself is a powerful tool when used in pursuit of helping lead the way towards the betterment of society, and is equally a tool for harm when used to naturalize hierarchies and inequality found throughout society. This was the focus of his class work, The Eclipse of Reason, in which he showed how the Nazi Party weaponized science by treating it as an end to itself, rather than to be a tool to be harnessed in pursuit of a goal. Today, we face the same issues and problems in science. For our collective good, we must decide to what ends these tools are used, and to what we as a society wish to prioritize. I am going to end this segment with a response to this article. I think it was very well written for the sake of, Salon, because, you can't do the don't look up thing. You can't, go super fucking deep into it. Like, you gotta baseline it. I don't know if they provided all the links, but I appreciate that as well. It's very well formatted. I don't know if they had anything to do with that. I'm not gonna make too much of a reach. I'm just gonna talk about the fact that I know that they wrote it. I think not only was it really well done, but I will say that it does create the conversation if more people were to read it. Is what do we, and I know this is a huge fucking conversation. Lee Atwater? Say what? No way. Say what? It almost seems crazy if our history wasn't riddled with it, because our history struggled with it. It's just incredibly awful and sad. Yeah, dog whistles. Yeah, Fox News. Well, you're seeing Mr. Paradigm. It depends on what you mean by yeah, no fucking way. No fucking way. Thank you for the follow, Maddie. Thank you for the follow, Proto Zero. No fucking way. If a product of traditional wisdom is intertwined with hierarchies of Western society bestowing normative meaning upon the individual to which combat the pathological shadow dragon within the super, and that's me. That's fucking me. That's fucking me. That's how I talk. That's my poetry. Oh my god. And who are these radical paradigm, postmodern neo-Marxists to push a radical communist agenda shift? Blasphemy. I'm going on hunger strike. I'll starve. Oh my god. Oh, I want to say it's a good article. I think it paints a question of, and this is a big question, what do we want out of society? Do we really want to go to that Star Trek? We go to different fuck, we want the Orville, we go like, if we do that, we have to shed these layers of what economic systems have done to train our brains. When you do something repeatedly over and over, you learn how to walk. I got my arms out backpedaling. I'm trying to teach my son how to walk again. Like, when you eclipse a bunch of ideas under a banner, like let's say the colonization of Mars, you have to accept at some point that you cannot carry the same systems you have if they cause problems in your home planet to another planet. You're just exporting your problems and creating a larger race of people who are going to have, or a larger species that are going to have these same problems. You have to eliminate ideological greed. You have no choice. We're either all Christian, we're all Muslim, we're all Buddhist, or we're all agnostic. Like, we have to come to, if we're going to find other civilizations, are we going to say that other civilizations, other forms of humanity, oh, what if they figured out the incest gene and like and I know they don't take this as the sentence for it to be the sentence, but like, what if they figured out the incest gene and like they can reproduce freely, so they no longer tie sex to reproduction to the idea of sex. Like, now they fall in love and have relationships, but they might have a set of people who just birth. What if that's their thing? What if that's their thing? And like, the bunch of the population is now sterile and or can't have babies, so there's some specific are we gonna shame them for that? Are we gonna come over to their planet and be like, hey, you should do it our way? Imperial, you see what I mean? Just having this conversation already puts into the fear. Would we be imperialist to other subspecies or species of human? Oh my god, it's the fish people. If we were all the same color, the same size, you would all still find a way to segregate and split yourselves up. And it's like, like, I'm a fucking small ass Twitch streamer. You got a billionaire, probably one of the most richest people. He's definitely on the list in history of richest people. And none of these questions are asked. So excuse me if I'm not optimistic about figuring out what the fuck we're gonna do on Mars, when we can't even get to the bottom of our ocean without shit popping. Solve that. Solve a pressure container that can handle all the pressure of the ocean. And again, if you don't know, now you know. Please do me a favor, go check out Homozygoat. Please go check out Professor Q. I'm not sure if Professor Q streams like that. Also, shout out Gremlo, because he's part of that fucking ecosystem. And go listen to Alpha Collective by Analima, because it literally talks about this in the entirety of the song. I'm about to play the music video that I made for them on stream. You're gonna miss that because you're not here live on Twitch. Follow the links in the description down below, and for all my new chatters, why don't y'all hit these motherfucking links as well? What are you doing? Gang is back, and I will see you in the motherfucking next one.